Everybody has a different point of view. I don't know. I just go about it differently. I just know I am very vocal when someone is pushing a subject way too far. I just told someone yesterday, like, I'm not interested in hearing that. That's not what I'm here for. Um, and the guy was just like, I'm sorry that I overstepped my boundaries, and he stopped. So I don't know. I just know I'm very vocal. I don't feel uncomfortable expressing it. I don't care if it's a man or a woman. And I say beforehand what it's for. And even when I'm with like my clients, like I have something particularly listed for under behavior, like any type of sexual harassment, gestures. Like I'm very, very vocal and meticulous about details. But everyone's not like me, so that's why I'm just like everybody has their different ways, their different angles. But yeah, I don't know. I just want to know a person a little bit behind the surface and make my own perspective about them instead of just seeing what how they treat people. Because sometimes people put on a lot of facades. I mean, I have a lot of aunts and uncles, and I see how people operate. I just want to see for myself and make my own judgment, and yeah, and just go from there. But
I get it too because sometimes if you try to just watch from the end, you could have yourself misjudge them, and you can also find yourself running into conclusions for things you may not really understand. So let's say you are judging a person with the way the person talked to someone else without even knowing the two of them have issues outside of what you see.
right.
So I totally understand the idea of, getting to know a tiny bit, okay, so that you get to build your own opinion outside of what any other person may have, the role any other person may have to play in the
Hmm.
opinion building. Yeah, I totally understand that. And that's pretty cool. That's
Hmm.
pretty cool.
Yeah, because everybody's just very transactional. I'm just like, girl, like, relax. Jesus, Lord, relax. Let's be humans. But I don't know. That's just me. I like to just relax a little bit and not be stressed over work and kind of just get to know people.
And that means you're building a family kind of team and not a team where work is work. I
Hmm.
guess you the kind of team where work is supposed to be fun. You're supposed to feel at home where you work because you spend the majority of your active hours in a day in the workplace. And that's a mentality that I personally would say kudos to. Okay. A lot of employers may not feel the same way. Some employers would say, if I make you too comfortable, you may lose your focus.
Yeah.
Exactly one of the reasons why they don't give the kind of friendly room within the community. I mean, the work community. So
Mm.
at the end of the day, I think as a different strokes for different folks. But I like your kind of ideology about work, about staff. I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't always have to be the strict line between employer and employee. I
Hmm.
mean, where you spend the active hours of your life every day should be somewhere that over time you should feel at home in. And you don't have to get apprehensive every morning because you have to go to work. Because hot
Yeah.
work is like, so it's really commendable and interesting.
Yeah, also I get my clients. So that's most of the standpoint that's the standpoint, that's the examples that I've been kind of just using. But yeah, I get my clients because I do like talking seminars and stuff like that. So I need to build like a rapport. When you learn about like the psychology of how people work or how they buy, like their buying decisions and stuff like that, you need to build a rapport. And especially with so much what's going on with social media exposing people, and I don't know, you just need to build a rapport. But before that, I've always just wanted to get, just a familiarity. And in my employees, I just don't want a stiff environment. I know we do have deadlines to get to, but at the end of the month, like I do want to reward and show my appreciation. That's just who I am as a person. I made sure I wanted that in my business model, or even if we were just friends, like I just still incorporate real life things to business things, but I still just kept it business. But yeah, no, that's just who I am. Regardless if it's a friend or an employee, I still apply the same thing. I just need to structure it by case scenario. My friends are treated more of my friends. My employees are just treated more as my employees because I have my ultimate goal is to keep my business going. You guys need to be paid, and the way to be paid is to keep the business open and flowing. So I mean, that's just who I am as a person. It's not just like a business model that I copy. It's just who I am, and I made it work.
Some persons are going to interpret it as a good customer service strategy.
Hmm.
hmm Some persons will say you make your customers feel appreciated, they keep coming back. So,
Hmm.
beyond your personality here, I like to look at it as a business person. I'd say it's a very commendable customer service strategy because you totally agree with me that the lifeline of any business,
Hmm.
beyond the sales team, is the customer management team.
Yeah.
So, as the brand ambassador, the sole ambassador of your business, if you don't treat your customers with some level of respect, appreciation, and some sort of a welcoming attitude, you'd
Hmm.
find out over time they see your business as just one of those businesses, and they can switch anytime they want to. But when you
Absolutely.
get this kind of treatment, over time they grow sentimentally attached to your business. So you'd find yourself feeling like sometimes, oh well, I have to go to Paris place because oh my god, I'll be letting her down if I patronize her.
Hmm.
I think that's how it's going to become at the end of the day. And it's really encouraging. And that's why you see some persons tell you stuff like, oh well, I cheated on my customer today and this is what I got. So sometimes when I was living in a different city from where I'm living now, I used
Hmm.
to have this nail tech guy. And for the 4 years I stayed in that city, it was this guy doing my nails for the 4 years. But it was because of business.
Hmm.
Okay. Whenever I went to this guy's shop, it was like a homecoming. You know, the
Yeah.
environment is comfortable enough for me to, if I need to eat,
Yes.
because you're comfortable, you should eat your food. Mama, how do you? He was so welcoming. Okay. And over time, I became sentimentally attached to his brand.
Hmm.
Beyond how good he is, I became sentimentally attached to the brand. So it was just him for the 4 years. And I can count on, I had a hairstylist who I got sentimentally attached to like that too. Now, this lady had a way of, making you feel at home. At the end of the day, you feel, oh, well, she does really good, and I am comfortable when I am there. So I'd say your strategy beyond your person is a commendable business. I apologize. I'm sorry. I'm talking business here, but for
I'm
me,
fine.
beyond the courtesy of being kind
Hmm.
and being warm to people, these are natural things that transit to business growth that build you a customer base. So you hear things like, oh, how about I treat you to this person because
Right.
you're so going to love her service and you're going to love doing business with her. Because the person's going to come to you and it's all on the edge. Oh, professional, straight jacketed. People want to just, leave all of those aside sometimes and relax and do business. So I think it's commendable.
Yeah, it all stemmed from just knowing who I was as like a person, not like as a businesswoman, but just knowing who I was and just peeling back all of the layers and just kind of just yeah, just redefining. That's all where it came from. And then once I was solid in my personal life, that's when it just spilled over into yeah, just my business life because all of that is kind of just I don't want to say mended together, but they spill over each other. Like I said, it spills over a little bit, but I make sure that one is catered for business, the other catered to the other one, but they all are springboards off of each other. I'll say that. But it was all because of me just identifying who I was from my core and yeah, and it just radiates out to me as a person and whatever my business is. My business is an extension of who I am. So yeah, I make sure of that.
And I think this is one of the reasons too why employers would say they will ask certain questions. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, what kind of person are you? Would you define yourself as a motivated person?
Mm-hmm.
Some of those personality trait questions are the things that translate to how a person delivers on a service.
Mm-hmm.
So, just like you said, this is who you are. I think it translates to generally how people individually are. So, this is what they also give out when it gets to
Right.
business. As much as sometimes you have to be professional,
Mm-hmm.
professionally, you need to take on these traits. So, let's say you're a customer service manager. Whether you like it or not, you need to have courtesy. Now,
Mm-hmm.
the way people who naturally do not have courtesy give off the air of courtesy is different from the way who are naturally cautious give it off. I don't know if I'm making sense. I don't know a better. Okay, let me try to explain this better. Let's say the way someone who is naturally friendly would
Mm-hmm.
treat a customer in a bit to be
Rude.
nice is different from when somebody who is not friendly is trying to be nice to a customer. You
Yeah, I
take
can see.
So at the end of the day, our individual personalities go a long way
Mm-hmm.
to translate into how our life is on every front. Business, interpersonal relationship, even within the community. Because even within the community, you'd find out that people who are not very warm people, no matter how hard you try to bring them close,
Mm-hmm.
unless whatever it is that is making them kind of rigid, kind of distant, is dealt with. For people who are naturally rigid and laid back, who want to keep to themselves, I think sometimes you work hard and try to bring it out, but it doesn't work. So I think who we are individually, despite the fact that we also have the chance to work on ourselves. Because if there is one thing I've learned in life, in my late 20s, is that life is a process of unlearning,
Mm-hmm.
relearning, and how is it said again? Learn, unlearn, and relearn. And this phase, this cycle doesn't ever stop.
No.
It doesn't ever stop. So for every phase of your life, of my life, there are things I need to drop, and there are new ones I need to pick on. And I'm always very open to go through this stage of life because I mean that's what life is all about. If I'm still breathing in air, I have to go through them to be happy.
Mm-hmm.